Hello everyone, and welcome to my creative interpretation of my philosophy of education. I believe that my philosophy of education can also be termed my vision for primary education, or my vision for what I hope will occur inside my classroom. As you can see, I've decided to enlist the help of Thomas in portraying my philosophy. Here we have Sodor Primary School. And here we have our little 5-year-old preppy Thomas. He's getting ready to go to school. He's very excited. He's a little bit scared. He's a little bit nervous. His coal box is not completely empty, but it's just waiting to be filled up with more knowledge, more experiences and more feelings. He's inside Sodor Primary School for about 6 or 7 years. Whilst in here, he goes through so many different changes, physical and developmental changes. He goes in as a 5-year-old, loving his fat control and doing what he's told. He's going to come out this end still loving his fat controller, but rebelling against them. The ideas of other trains as he comes out this end are not so important because he started to develop his own ideas. For those of you that know the Thomas story, he's going in Thomas, but he's coming out Gordon. So it's a sad day for sure that we say goodbye to our little preppies. And in they go. That is when my job as the teacher takes over. So here's my philosophy or my vision for primary education. Thomas believes he's gone into school to learn to count to 100. As his teacher, however, I know that he is developing mathematical skills that will provide lifelong benefits. So in that goes to my class. It is my job to ensure that Thomas understands and accepts his strengths and weaknesses, as well as the strengths and weaknesses of others. To my philosophy, into my classroom goes a lot of love. It is my job as a teacher to ensure that I develop links between the relevance of the different disciplines. That my students begin to learn that we use maths not just in the classroom but in everyday life. That science is all around us, not just in the laboratory. That we use science when we bake a cake or when we turn the car on in the morning. And in doing this, I am helping to create creative thinkers and learners. So that goes into my class too. Thomas thinks he's there to learn to read. However, I know as his teacher that he is developing literacy skills that he will use for life. Thomas thinks he's there to make friends. But as his teacher, I know that he is actually developing life skills. He's developing skills in communication, personal development and relationship development. That he is building his confidence and his self-esteem. So, and that goes too. I am ensuring that my students develop a love for learning and skills to be lifelong learners. Together with more love. In my class, I will model cultural acceptance and equality by ensuring that Thomas understands that there are always two sides to every story, two sides to every theory, and two sides to every belief. Therefore, beginning to equip him with the knowledge and the respect for others that he will need to make his own decisions in life and create his own worldview. So in that goes. As a teacher, I need to understand Thomas is different from Percy, Thomas is different from James. And they all actually learn differently. And it is my job to create teaching and learning opportunities and experiences that fit best how Thomas learns. And that goes. And goes some more love. It is my job as a teacher and part of my philosophy that I begin to develop skills of independence in Thomas. And perhaps most importantly, it is my belief that a primary education should actually teach the whole child and holistic education. Holistic education is so important to my personal philosophy of education, that it is something that I looked for in the school that I chose for my son. And I believe that I picked very well, because their philosophy of education is teaching the whole child, which matches mine. I actually have a quote which to me sums up my philosophy and my role as a teacher. This quote is by a man called Harold Garnet Black. The best teacher is not the one who fills the student's mind with the largest amount of factual data in the minimum amount of time, or who develops some manual skill almost to the point of uncanniness, but rather the one who kindles an inner fire, arouses moral enthusiasm, inspires the student with a vision of what they may become, and reveals the worth and permanency of moral, spiritual and cultural values. Pretty much sums up my philosophy of education right there. So little Thomas has gone in. Hopefully I've done my job well, and he's experienced all of these things in my classroom. And he's come out the other end. He's now big Thomas. He's had a great experience inside my classroom. He's got his own ideas. He's starting to develop his own ideas at least. And he's ready, and he's off to high school, hopefully beyond. But more importantly, I hope that he had a great experience in my class, that he felt respected and loved, and that he learned a lot, not only about disciplines, but also about himself. And that's pretty much my philosophy of education. And thanks for listening. Okay, bye.